This is like going clothing shopping and buying a size too big. It just doesn't fit. You don't have to sit out line for the new sneakers. They're just gonna get dropped off at your front door. 100% be used frequently, often, in the competitive play. What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle, and this is a back-to-back-to-back upload. Drop a like if you're seeing this work ethic. You want more of this good material. Tomorrow, I'm thinking players that got ruined, that got negatively affected, they got downgraded, damaged goods. Even if they got upgraded, they still got downgraded because of certain statistical allocations and reductions that don't necessarily even make sense, but it's going to impact their FIFA performance. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Has nothing to do with today's video because we're talking about Premier League. The 20 players announced, highest rated 20-piece McNugget extra sauce. If you eat Chick-fil-A, that Polynesian, even the Chick-fil-A official sauce. If you're just a ketchup man or a little mustard here and there, I'm not judging. Run up the condiments that you like, that you enjoy. But we have 20 players to talk about, so I'm not gonna hold you up. Turn on notifications, please. We are right on the brink of FIFA 21 season, and we're gonna have uploads daily, all year long. Road to Glory is returning. In fact, in the comments, and I'll hook you up with some FIFA points if I use your suggestion, what should we call the Road to Glory? Comment down below the name of the Road to Glory. We used to have, back in FIFA 16, The Journey, before EA even released The Journey. I'm innovative, creative, thought-provoking. Without further ado, Harry Kane. The reality is simple. This type of player, this type of build, they don't get privilege. I don't care that he's high-rated and that he's gonna be able to finish anywhere and everywhere, around the box, outside the box. When 3 out of your 4 stat lines that impact turning and the speed in which you turn are all in the 60s, that's detrimental. You need some of that pace. You have to be able to turn on a dime. Unless FIFA 21 dramatically shifts from the previous installment, this is like going clothing shopping and buying a size too big. It just doesn't fit. Ederson, not really in a position to judge or critique goalkeepers without having a weekend league under our belt. Unless EA gives some sort of crazy improvement. Players with neck tattoos. If he doesn't get a boosted stat line, I'm sure he's going to be on the lower end when we're going through these Premier League players. Next to him, Hugo Lloris. Preference. Did I mention preference? It's like eating pizza in New York City. We've got options, we've got variety, and different styles, different strokes for different folks. You want a Neapolitan, you want a slice to go, you want to sit down with a pie, I'm pie. Do you like a deep dish? Make sense? Report. I believe he's going to be better than expectation, but that's it. It's as if you're eating fast food, but you're paying the price of a restaurant sit down. Why would you do that? Bernardo Silva, always shopping in the petite section. Similar to Harry Kane, with even a different build, it's not ideal. It gets murked in FIFA. The small tactician type of specialist does not slot into the meta. He's going to be absent with the physical, and he has high work rates, which is just not the primary get up for a cam or for a winger. It's not ideal. Alisson, the best of the goalkeepers, and maybe most importantly, the easiest to implement into a squad. Green Link, Virgil van Dijk, Joe Gomez. He will 100% be used frequently, often, in the competitive play, esports. All of us are going to want to try him out, but without more time under our belt, experience, first-hand experience, I can't move him up the list. I can't tell you that I'm ready to share the couch and stand by him or sit next to him, watch the game with them. Still too early. Roberto Firmino, Bobby. Many of you said he didn't deserve an upgrade, but at the end of the day, 5-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, and I have belief that skill moves are going to grant you exclusive access. You don't have to sit out line for the new sneakers. They're just gonna get dropped off at your front door. The biggest concern is, where do you play him? He's not built as a true striker. A lot of us aren't going to run more of a false 9, so that role's not available. As a center attacking mid, you start to question, is he fast enough? Are the turns quick enough? Are you going to be able to orchestrate the attack in those upper levels? Sterling, 3-star weak foot. That's why he's here. He will be one of the quickest players in FIFA 21, but you're gonna have issues with predictability because he's always got to cut inside, and he's not going to win 50-50 shoulder scenarios. That's not really in his his game plan, and I'm yet to click with Sterling in any FIFA installment where I've really been able to move him into being a top tier player. Alexander-Arnold, and hear me out. I realize he's the highest rated. I understand, but just in the Premier League alone, look at some of the counterpart choices that are arguably better because they're going to be more overpowered, probably going to be a little cheaper. Kyle Walker, Pereira, João Cancelo, Wan-Bissaka, and that's just off the top. There might be others that are just more so built for FIFA success or comparable, if not an improvement, that are going to be better value. If he played as a left back, this would be a different discussion. Our back and forth in the comments would have a different vibe. Bruno Fernandes, happy that he's in the Premier League. I'm sure all Manchester United fans support this transfer, but I don't know what's his identity. It's missing in action. Where do you play Bruno Fernandes with this current statistical allocation to get the most out of him? And I have to bring that up because you've got to pay to have Premier League players early, especially high-rated guys at the big clubs. I need to know exactly what I'm getting on the virtual pitch. Fabinho, quality example, following up Bruno Fernandes. Good old faithful. I know exactly what I'm receiving with this pickup. And he's going to be a little bit quicker than you might imagine, mainly because all of the key stat lines for pace are in the high 60s. So we're talking about acceleration, sprint speed, agility, balance. He's going to sit right on top of your back line. It's a stopper 101. And in the early months of FIFA, between the easy link-up play, those early times, I'm talking dinosaur, prehistoric time periods, we like this. I know exactly what I'm receiving on a return of investment when I buy Fabinho. Salah, I didn't love him last year, and it feels as if this is going to be a similar story. Not that much has changed. The narrative, almost identical, and especially at this price point in this rating, I need more. I want more. I have a higher desire. And by no means am I saying that Salah is not going to be good, but he's a 90 overall. He should be good. You're missing out on the juice. Aguero, one of the greatest Premier League strikers of all time, and he's in the conversation, but if we're truly bringing him up as FIFA greatness for this year's installment, he needs a couple helpers, some promos, informs, just a tad bit more pace. Just a little bit. Then we can say top striker Premier League in FIFA or top striker worldwide in FIFA. They start to slow him down a tad bit as he's getting older. I don't make the ratings. Which brings me to Aubameyang. What did he need to do in order to receive an upgrade or even stay the same? I constantly ask, why was he downgraded? Still, gonna be extremely relevant. This new title will suit Aubameyang better in theory, especially with a larger focus on crossing, because Aubameyang has the size, has the correct body type, and generally, he's one of those strikers that is so straight line. Route one football, annoying to go up against. Robertson, the world needs left backs. I always talk supply and demand. Not a lot of supply, plenty of demand in each of the leagues, and especially the Premier League. So here have some hype behind him. And this is one of those upgrades that still feels as if it's actually a downgrade because he lost some of the pace. And that's just crucial to his specific position. Being able to run the lines both ways, progress the attack, and then chase back on the defensive end, cover up angles, make things difficult for the attackers. Mane, not always as hype in the same way as some of his counterparts, but deserves the rating and deserves the credit. What I'm trying to say is he's not a hype beast, but the quality of shoe or sneaker that you will be getting is still up here, upper echelon. I reckon he's going to be more affordable in comparison to other high-rated players in the Premier League. Kevin De Bruyne undoubtedly deserves his rating, deserves all those stats, but it's almost risky having him this high in my list, mainly because we don't really have a clear-cut position for KDB. Hear me out. He's not fast enough to be the main provider as a center attacking mid. He's not really balanced enough to be a true box-to-box, and he's not defensive enough to be a holding mid. So we're waiting for upgrades. But how can I discredit him? Because we know what KDB is all about. He should be on the pitch. I just don't know where to play him. Whew. Ronaldo, bright future. Still offers all the deals in a title where we've seen a lot of key stat lines downgraded across the board. Not for Ronaldo. Kante. Pick Kante. That was a terrible dad joke. But he's going to roam the midfield. Unstoppable. Relentless. A nuisance. Top 5 most annoying FIFA players over the past 3 or 4 installments. His chase back game, A1 steak sauce. Never gets tired. Fatigue and Kante don't go together. Stamina on the up and up. That matches. That parallels. And he's going to do all of this with a smile. Silently. You're frustrated. You don't beat Kante. Not easily. Usually you partner him up with another midfielder that's got a little more size. A little taller, and now you have that gladiator in your maestro. And topping the chart, you hear the drum roll? Could it be anybody but Virgil van Dijk? I don't believe so. He is who you thought he was. Most dominant, most consistent, top to bottom, beginning to end defender of FIFA 20. Will be no different in FIFA 21. Virgil starts off as the best and just constantly is going to have an upward trend. And he's going to cost you a hefty price point, but it's worth it. Thanks again for watching. If you're new to the channel, it is free to subscribe. I have a lot more coming out for you ASAP. And get in the comments. Talk to me about players that have been ruined. If you have Road to Glory ideas, like I said, if I use your suggestion for the name of our Road to Glory, I got FIFA points coming your direction. And on that note, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.